Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of SpongeBob Now. Today, I will be talking about missing identity and Plankton's army. First, I'm going to talk about missing identity. Enjoy. As the episode opens, SpongeBob is at a diner on a dark and weary morning, while rain is pouring down outside. A patron is solving a crossword puzzle and realizes that he has lost his pen. A waitress says he can borrow hers, and he does. It then shows SpongeBob sitting at a table. He says he once lost something he could not live without, his identity. Even though no one asked or wants to know, he recounts the events of last Monday. In the flashback, he wakes up and throws his blanket into the air, and says, "Good morning, world, and all who inhabit it." The blanket falls on him, and SpongeBob, being unable to see, falls off of his bed, and his alarm clock falls on top of his head. He falls down the stairs and the alarm propels him into the window. He feeds Gary and comments that he has been feeding Gary snail food for years and does not even know what it tastes like. He tastes it and is revolted, and his screaming of disgust is sensed at the headquarters of the company that makes the snail food. He looks at the clock and realizes that he is late for work, and quickly gets changed and skips to work. While he is skipping to work, Patrick greets SpongeBob. After SpongeBob tells the diner people about greeting Patrick, he decides to skip to the part when he was about to serve a customer. As SpongeBob serves food to a customer, the customer tells him that he should wear a name tag so that she can thank him properly. He indicates that he is indeed wearing a name tag, but then realizes that his name tag is missing. He panics, hyperventilates, and eventually faints. When he wakes up, he asks Squidward what happened. Squidward tells him that he fainted because he lost his name tag, but he assures him that his name tag is not that important, and SpongeBob hyperventilates once again until Squidward stops him, saying it is not the end of the world. However, just as he says this, Mr. Krabs comes out of his office and informs them that there is a uniform inspection in 1 hour and anyone who fails has to wear a very stinky boot all day. Squidward suggests to SpongeBob that he should retrace his steps. SpongeBob repeats everything he did that morning several times, including his horrific incident of terror with the alarm clock and eating the snail food. SpongeBob repeats this many times since Patrick continuously fails to say hi to him. As an example, Patrick accidentally says, "Hi, SpongeBob," and laughs afterward. Still, SpongeBob fails to find his name tag. Patrick then asks him what he did after he greeted him before noticing he lost his name tag, and SpongeBob explains that he skipped merrily to Krusty Krab, said hello to Old Man Jenkins, put an apple on Mr. Krabs' desk, and was thrown into a dumpster by 2 thugs. Patrick predicts his name tag is in the apple he placed on Mr. Krabs' desk. SpongeBob likes Patrick's prediction but claims Mr. Krabs has probably thrown that apple away by now, so Patrick suggests looking in the dumpster, and they go to search there. During the search, SpongeBob gives Patrick 2 hints but he is still confused. SpongeBob does a double take of Jack Benny while wondering, but panics that he has 1 minute left. Patrick then sees SpongeBob's name tag on the back of his shirt, but when he alerts him to this and SpongeBob turns around, it seems to disappear and Patrick cannot remember where it was. SpongeBob gets irritated after he does this twice, and he soon tells Patrick to go home since he is no help. However, after an annoyed Patrick replies, "Well, at least I don't wear my shirt backwards." When SpongeBob hears this, he looks at his back and realizes that he had his name tag all along, and his shirt was supposed to correct to wear the pants not backwards on his name tag, and his shirt was just on backwards. SpongeBob thanks Patrick for his help as the latter accepts his gratitude. At the uniform inspection, Mr. Krabs tells Squidward all he needs to do is shave and he passes inspection. However, Mr. Krabs smells SpongeBob and is disgusted by the stench of the dumpster. He probably ejects SpongeBob from the restaurant and seemingly suspends him from working at the Krusty Krab. As the episode ends with SpongeBob finishing telling his story, thanking the waitress for listening and explaining that he managed to kill 11 minutes, calling her Betty, she says that her name is not Betty and that she is just borrowing someone else's uniform while hers is getting cleaned. When SpongeBob learns this, he does another Jack Benny double take. Next, I'm going to talk about Plankton's army. Enjoy. Mr. Krabs announces to his employees that it is the 25th anniversary of Silver of Plankton's first attempt to steal the Krabby Patty formula. A robot suddenly enters the restaurant and orders chili coral bits. After Mr. Krabs takes the robot's money, Plankton jumps out of the dollar bill and demands the formula, only to reveal he hadn't thought that far after he fails to make a threat. With this, Mr. Krabs proceeds to flush him down the toilet. Plankton sadly returns to the chum bucket and Karen suggests hiring some henchmen to help him. After trying and failing to recruit some thugs at a nightclub, Plankton remembers that he has thousands of relatives across the sea and invites them all over to the chum bucket, imagining them all to be evil geniuses like he is. However, when they arrive, he sees that they are all dim-witted rednecks, and realizes that he has been away from home longer than he thought. Once his cousin Clem reintroduces Plankton to all his relatives, Plankton calls them to a meeting and explains his plan of stealing the formula, promising them all the root beer they can drink if they help. Just as the Krusty Krab is about to close, Plankton and his relatives come charging in. After trapping Mr. Krabs and Squidward in a toilet, they open the safe containing the Krabby Patty secret formula. Plankton takes it out of the safe and Mr. Krabs begs him not to read it, telling him, "There are some things in this world that weren't meant for mortal eyes." Plankton made a correction of his only mortal eye, as he didn't matter to listen and reads out the formula with 4 ingredients. Number 1, a pinch of salt. Number 2, 3 teaspoons chopped onions. Number 3, a cup of love. And number 4, 4 heaping lb of freshly ground plankton. Horrified, Mr. Krabs remarked that he warned Plankton about it before he runs out of the Krusty Krab and back home to the chum bucket, screaming at the top of his lungs, and his relatives follow suit after reading the recipe, except for Clem, who is illiterate. Mr. Krabs sends him off. When Squidward and Mr. Krabs are safe and SpongeBob returns from cleaning the men's room from before, Squidward asks if plankton is really the secret ingredient, but Krabs tells his employees that the formula Plankton read is just a fake and that Plankton with his family will most likely figure this out and come back for the real one. He gloats that the real formula is hidden somewhere where nobody, not even Plankton, will be able to find it. Squidward then correctly guesses where it is, at Mr. Krabs' house under his mattress, and Mr. Krabs runs home in horrifying, yelling, "Curse you, Squidward." Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Goodbye everyone.